State basketball tournament's just around the corner. Brand new edition of Local Focus with Sebastian Noel. I'm your host. So happy to be with Sandia Matador, Zaire Ndyabagye. Welcome to the program. I know it's been a while to get our schedules clicking, but here we are with State right around the corner. So you got to be pretty excited.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. Can't wait.
Where's the team at? I mean, obviously you guys are flying pretty high into this thing, right? But you know the goal. I mean, I don't know how many teams can realistically claim that they have a goal to win the Blue Trophy at the beginning of this tournament. I think you could maybe make the argument for 2, 3 teams that can realistically say that. You guys are one of them, right? So where are you at mentally?
Mentally, I feel like we're in the right spot. Just tweak some little things that we need to, fix, and we'll be there with Volcano.
What I've really been dying to ask you about all year has been the evolution of your mustache. So let's start there, okay? Like, it started out with just like, hey, Z, you got some dirt on your lips, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that was about a month. Okay, and then there was like, it went to the pencil phase where it looked like it was just a little, right? But now you're like approaching, like, it's a very respectable looking thing now.
Yeah.
But it definitely has been a season-long process.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I started growing it like freshman year, and then I was gonna shave it, but my mom was like, "Just let it grow, trust the process." So I trusted it, and then now it's looking like this.
And
a lot of people want me to shave it though.
So it's really a metaphor for your basketball journey, you could say, right?
Yeah.
Because
I say so.
and that's why I love your story so much too, because like it's not everyone has their own path, right? And I mean, obviously you're on a team that's got some young studs, right, that have been varsity players from the get-go. That's not your story. That's not your path. And I think that makes your story so much more remarkable because it's the work for you to get here. I think if anyone would have watched you play JV 2 years ago, they would not have been able to say, hey, this is going to be a key guy to a championship contender, right?
Yeah.
But that's been all your hard work. So talk about that.
I don't know. Well, Coach talked to me about my freshman year, saying like, you can come up for the last 2 weeks for the season to see like how things go. So I trusted Coach, and he got me in the gym working, shooting, getting stronger. So I just trusted Coach's process, and he got me to where I'm at right now.
As you kind of transitioned from that JV to varsity player level, like, because I can remember like going into some games early and watching some JV. Say, okay, there's glimpses of potential here, but nothing that you would ever be like, yeah, this guy's going to be averaging 16-6 on a championship contender. What did you feel like you had to work on the most?
Most likely my mental game for sure, and getting stronger. Those were like the 2 main things that I needed to work on.
And like how does that happen, right? Because that's all. Yeah, the season ends, and then it's when the real work begins, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do to get better at all those things?
Over the summer playing with the varsity, that my sophomore year helped me work on my mental, Mari and all them, talking trash in practice and stuff like that. So that helped me with my mental, and then getting stronger, going into the weight room when like nobody's there, asking Coach to open the gym for me, and just doing my own type of lift stuff.
If people would have came up to you a couple of years ago when you were playing JV saying, hey, you're going to get a chance to play college basketball, would you have believed them? I mean, were you always on that, like, hey, I got to get better, but you knew? Or were there times where you're like, man, this is not going, like, according to plan?
There was some times where I was like, I don't know, but I had a deep feeling like, I'm going to get better, so I have a chance to play on that next level.
And when did it kind of click for you? Like, when did you know, like, all right, I'm pretty good. Like, I'm a key guy to my team.
This summer, when I started, like, really, not worrying about, like, messing up or anything, just going out and hooping, playing my game.
And that's just like a mustache, right?
Yeah.
What starts as a little bit of dirt on the lip turns into a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, we joke, but it is kind of very, the parallels are there, that's for sure. When did you feel like your guys all started believing you?
Last year, towards like the end of the season, that Cleveland game in state, I feel like they all started to like, oh, he's gonna, really help.
And how important is that on a team like the only Sandia you've known is this very successful program of a bunch of guys contributing, and like that's that mindset, right? So to be one of those key pieces, like how important was that mentally? You knew you had to be that guy. You were around those guys. How important is that mentally to kind of grow into that?
It was kind of, at the start it was kind of hard mentally, but then once you like start getting the groove of things and start being like a captain and being talkative on the court and stuff, it became a little easier on the mental. to understand like certain points in the game and stuff like that.
Like when you were a young Matador in that program, did you have some guys that you looked up to? Like, okay, this is somebody I can gravitate towards. This is someone I look for guidance, or okay, this I modeled my game a little after this guy. Was there anyone like that?
Lamarion.
Okay, so tell me about that.
You know, he was always like the vocal guy on our team 2 years ago. So every time I seen him, you know, vocal, I was like, okay, next year I got to be like a vocal guy to help us, you know, get to that blue, or you know, be like the motor, the dog on defense and stuff like that. So him doing that really made me like, you know, think like I have to actually come out and help.
Do you have that, like, Lamarion was in a class of his own when it came to talking on the court, right? Is there, do you have some of that in you? Like, because he was pretty elite when it came to shit talking on the court. So do you have some of that in you?
I don't have Lamarion trash talk, but I do got a kind of some
Okay,
of it in me.
Okay. Obviously, the athleticism, that has to be a little genetic, right? So you come from a pretty athletic family? Talk about that.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I
really?
really don't. No.
No? Okay, all right.
Nah. I just worked with Athletes Ready all summer,
Okay,
and that kind of helped. So,
Man, these guys at Athletes Ready, they need to. We need to talk to them about sponsoring the show because they get more free name drops on this program than anyone I've ever known, right? But now they do a great job over there. What have they done, right? Because you talked about the basketball skills, right? Yeah. Obviously, your team and your coaches get you better at basketball skills, the mental side with Lamarion, with coach. But what did they do from a just physical standpoint to help you?
They help you with like your posture on the court. So you're not like, you know, hunched over and stuff like that. So your posture really helps. And then they also like do recovery after. So you do like stretching, ankle stuff, wrist stuff, a lot of things.
And how long have you been a subscriber to all that?
Just this past summer.
What do you guys do for recovery? I've been asking more guys about recovery. It's going to start being more important as we head into state, right? Because it's a long week. And I think some of the guys that have been on my program as they've graduated and now they're playing in college, that's been their biggest adjustment they're like, man, I'm just sore all the time. They didn't have a recovery component to their game or in their program. What are the Matadors doing for recovery?
We do a lot of stretching and ice baths. We take a lot of ice baths.
All right. And will you guys do anything different this week going into state, you think?
I don't think so. I don't know. Whatever really coach has in mind, to be honest.
Right. Are you guys a big film team? Are you guys a big walkthrough team? Are you guys a get 1,000 shots up team? All of the above, a little bit of everything. What's the big identifying factor of this team?
We're kind of all of the above. We kind of watch film. We also get 1,000 shots up. We do a lot of walkthrough stuff. So we kind of do everything.
All right. We'll take our first break here. When we come back with Zaire, top 5 list. Top 5 things we don't know about him when we come back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Back with Sandia Matadors, Zaire Ndyabagye. Welcome back to the program, folks. All right, top 5 list. Have you seen the show? We know what this top 5 list is all about.
Yeah.
Top 5 things that we do not know about you. Starting with number 5.
I can cook. I'm a really good cooker.
Okay. A really good cooker. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you cook? Like, are we talking like real like?
I could cook like steak. I
Okay.
could cook hamburgers. I can cook spaghetti. Not Louisiana. Lasagna.
Okay.
I could cook a lot of things.
All right. So you could survive in college, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you have like a go-to?
Nah, not really. I just
Whatever.
whatever I'm feeling in the moment, I just go
Okay.
and cook
All right.
it.
All right. Number 4.
I can draw. I'm a really good artist.
Okay. Are we talking like cartoons? Are we talking like full like murals? What are we?
Like cartoon drawing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like some go-to stuff that you can describe, or what do you like? Or you just do it all the time, or?
Just whenever like what I'm thinking, or like if
Okay.
I'm bored or something, I'll just like pull out a pen and just start drawing
Okay.
little cartoon people.
Do you you have like drawings of like the team and stuff?
N-
Do you do sketches like that?
nah.
No,
I
no
can't do all
sketches
that.
like that. Anything like that? All right.
Nah.
All right. Number 3.
I play video games, so I'm a pretty big gamer.
Okay. What's your go-to? Are you a Madden guy? Are you a Black Ops guy? Are you a Fortnite guy? What's the?
I'm not really good at Madden.
Okay.
You know, the team always busts my ass in Madden,
Okay.
but I'm really good at 2K
Okay.
and
all right.
Black Ops, so yeah.
Okay. 2K. What's the team you pick when you play?
I always go the Lakers, of course.
Okay.
I gotta go Braun, the
All right.
GOAT.
You mean Luka? Luka's Lakers?
Yeah, LeBron Lakers.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Who else is good on the team at 2K?
Shoot, I don't really know.
Like if we did 2K tournament right now, bracket style, the whole varsity's on the bracket. Like who's going through to the championship?
It'd probably end up with me and like Sean.
Okay.
Sean plays games a lot.
What team does he pick?
He goes, I think he goes OKC. He's Shea.
See, I don't think it's like when you play those games. I don't think it's. You should have to play as the shittiest teams, right?
Yeah.
Like that's my opinion. Like when you're playing those games, like you know, you should have to be the I don't know who's the worst team in the league this year.
Detroit.
Detroit, right? Yeah. Like if there was an NMAA 2K, I feel like you should have to be like either PV or I don't know, Gadsden, right? Like it's not fair when you just get to pick Sandia, right? Like it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the cop out, right? Like with Madden, everyone picks usually Kansas City,
Yeah.
right? All right, what number are we on? Number two. Number 2 things we don't know about you.
I'm an outdoors guy. Well, when it's when it's summer, I like going outdoors.
Okay, to do what?
Just like play basketball, do a lot of things. Just go for walks, walk my dogs.
So we're talking like normal city outdoors, not like
Yeah.
mountains, rivers, and crazy like hillbilly outdoors. You're talking about normal
Well,
city outdoors.
me and my family go on camping trips over
Okay,
the summer, so
alright.
we go camping and stuff to the lake and all
Okay.
that.
What is the number 1 thing we don't know about you?
So, shoot.
You've made it this far. There's got to be one more.
What is a lot of things nobody knows about me?
Nah, we'll have to chalk that up to Coach. Didn't have you coached up for this program.
Nope.
I'm going to give him a call about that. All right, I want to do a bonus list now, okay? Because I want to do top 5 dunkers in the city. But before we do that, I want to just talk about your season has been full of highlight reel jams, man. It's been pretty fun to watch. Do you have a favorite thus far this year? I mean, there's a couple that come to mind. Obviously, the Atrisco one. The one in Santa Fe was pretty intense. What about, I mean, you've had a lot. So which one's been your top?
The one against Santa Fe for sure. I like that one. That one was probably more like where I jumped, like actually got up on.
And that was a hard one, I would imagine, because, well, one, Thomas was pretty close to you. Mm-hmm. And then you guys were moving like real. Like I didn't think that the spacing there was great for you to receive that pass. So and he put some mustard on that pass too. Like that was a hard catch and finish. Talk about that.
Well, when I got the steal, I gave it to Thomas because he was ahead of me, and then he was like, "Get up, get up." So I was like, "Okay, give it right back," and he gave it right back. And then I seen the dude coming, and I just rose up, and he jumped with me, and he got dunked on. So.
Yeah, you got dunked on, right? That's. Is there a favorite victim? Like, do you ever like pick one out? Like, I really want to dunk on this guy or that guy, or has there been a favorite guy? You described your best dunk or your favorite dunk was the Santa Fe. Was there a best victim? Like, yeah, I really wanted to get him, and you got him. Like, is there one of those?
Nobody in particular, but I really want to get Mason.
Right?
That's who I want to get.
Yeah. I feel like he would just foul you.
He probably would, but you know, I tried so many times in practice, I still haven't got one yet.
What goes into a good dunk? Whether if you're, if you watch any of that All-Star weekend, which has turned really bad, what makes a good dunk?
Definitely the approach of like what angle you're coming from, and on how you like jump off your whatever foot you're jumping with. So
Okay. And then is there like anything? I mean, I know you guys do these in practice, right? So like, are you ever working on these in practice? Like, yeah, I'm gonna try this in the game, or
no.
coach probably puts a pretty quick stop to that, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't really. The stuff I do in practice, I probably wouldn't do in game unless we're winning by a lot. But
yeah. Well, in your district, I can name a few teams. But anyway, we're going to go top 5 dunkers in the city. I have a list. You have a list, right? So we'll go backwards. You're the guest here. So number 5. Who's number 5 dunker? We'll keep it to the metro area, right? So Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, the likes. So who's your number 5 guy?
I'll put me on there. I'll put number 5.
All right. Okay. On number 5 on my list, and I spent a lot of time on this, so this one's a little sneaky. I put Marcus Quesada from Atrisco on that list. Very sneaky hops. Like, he gets up. So, like, I would say his surprising ones are always when he's just running on the baseline and he just pops up and throws one down. But I think he's got some sneaky springs in those legs. So he's my number 5. All right, who's your number 4?
Jaden Cox from Clovis.
Oh, good one. All right, Clovis is outside the city limits, so I didn't.
Oh yeah,
I didn't include him, but you're the guest. You're a guest in my house. You can do that. All right, I went with Big Smooth as number 4. Can't be first at everything, Kenyon. Sorry, right? So he's had a couple of nice ones in transitions, particularly one off the backboard, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the bar for him is pretty high, so put him at number 4. All right. Who's your number 3?
I'm gonna have to put him at number 3, Big Smooth.
Okay. All right. I feel like you're just saying a guy that I said, but okay. Again, you're a guest in this house. No one's gonna be rude to guests. All right, number 3. You might not like this because he's in your district. I went Hunter Butler at number 3. Okay, I know, district rival, right? But you gotta give him props. Like, transition, he is their one-man transition offense. And he's thrown some nice dunks. And I think he gets extra points, too, for as many as he's had this year. Because he did a bunch. I mean, it's constant. It's over defenders. It's in transition. It's a lot, all right? All right, we've gone to number 2. Who's your number 2?
Well, I got 2 guys for number 2. Can I put Malachi Knox in there?
Absolutely. Do we have to put free agent by his name, or when are we?
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, Malachi's number 2. All right, who else is tied for second with you then?
Evan Shea.
Okay, all right. You're number 2 on my list.
I'm number 2?
Yes. So didn't make it all the way to the top, but number 2. Just then. Just the season speaks for itself. Like, they come in big games. They're usually pretty boisterous. They hype up the crowd. So yeah, that you made it to number 2 on my list. All right, who's your number 1 dunker in the city?
David Lunn.
That's also my number 1, right? So we agreed on D. Lunn, right? He's just got a body of work that goes back to his freshman year, right? When you do it on the biggest stage at the pit, that says a lot, right? So that was my number 1 as well. We'll take another break, come back with Zaire right after this.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavis, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We're back with Zaire. I want to talk about Sandia culture, right? Like, culture is a big part of winning. I've always been a believer in that. You know, so what, if you had to describe to a confused young freshman right now what the Sandia culture is, what would you say?
We're like a huge family, to be honest. Like, I feel like we can like live in the same house and still have the same culture, from like being like family to like basketball wise. So I tell them like our culture is like really tight. Like, there's nothing that can really break our culture up. So.
And I mean, has it always been like that, or do you guys nurture that over time, or is it like? Tell me more.
It really started when like Dalen, Eli, and them were there. They really started our bond with the culture, and then we just kept building from there, from that season.
And you guys, I mean, you guys do a lot away from the gym too together, right? Like, I mean, you guys are always at different basketball games together, all that stuff. Just talk about that a little bit.
We're really like a close family outside of basketball. Really, like everybody always hangs out with somebody on the team. Even like when we have freshmen, you know, practicing with us, we always hang out with them. We take kids home that don't even have rides. So our culture is like really strong outside of basketball.
And how does that help on the court?
That helps a lot. When we're like, you know, when adversity hits us, we know our culture still like keeps us together to where we can, you know, fight back and beat adversity and come back and like win tough games, or come back from us losing, and then we still like keep it neck and neck with teams.
I can remember we used to cover the Duke City Gladiators, which is a non-existent football team now in Albuquerque, in the Arena League. And when they won their first championship, I remember their star wide receiver post-game said, "We won this game not because we were better, not because of this, we won the game on culture today." And he was just kind of referring to how the other teams were kind of knuckleheads, selfish penalties, things like that, right? And he said, "We won the game with culture." And it's always stuck with me, right? So with that culture, when you talked about when adversity hits, right? Like, how do those tough conversations go? Take us inside that Sandia culture. When someone has to check somebody, how does that go?
We just go up to them and just be like, "You're good, next play it. You know, we need you on the floor right now, so we don't need you to, you know, get us a tech or make a stupid foul. We need you on the floor right now to help us get this win, so just lock in for us and we're going to get it."
And have you noticed the difference between Sandia culture and opponents you play, right? Like, can you see that culture matters? Like, when do you start to notice culture matters?
When we're, you know, going on a run and we see like teams arguing, saying, "Oh, you're not passing the ball," or "You're not playing defense," or "Y'all are not boxing out, like I'm the only one boxing out." We see like that, and we're always like, "Oh, they're fighting." Our culture, we're not going to be fighting like that. We're going to be talking to each other.
And so now, what is your part as an upperclassman to make sure that culture carries on?
Just to make sure that the young guys know, like, not to be rude or when you're talking to your teammates, not come out as rude. You know, talk to them calmly, and make sure they're like being a leader on the floor, because you know some of these guys are gonna be leaders when they're older. Right. So you gotta teach them young.
What's next for you? If we have time to talk a little bit of a state tournament, we will at the end. But really, I want to talk about you got an offer from Northern, right? I have a feeling some more are going to come. So what's the end goal here? What's the dream scenario?
You know, to keep playing basketball, you know, in college, but seeing if other teams, you know, weighing out my options to see where I can go, you know, and if not, then Northern will be the option.
Everyone loves basketball when they're in Albuquerque, surrounded by their family and teammates, right? But I always say, when you have to prove how much you love basketball by living in Silver City, New Mexico, or Espanola, New Mexico, or insert city here, right? That's away from home, away from comforts, away from family. That's when you tend to find out how much someone loves basketball, right? Like, you see it even, and it's every sport. You see it, you know, a bunch of guys go to a certain college for football. First semester goes. How many of them are back home, right? Like, but you guys, that's another thing that I think separates a lot of you guys. You're in the gym all the time. Like, it seems like you guys are all gym rats on that team. Like,
Yeah.
am I reading that right? Where like you love basketball enough where you would see it through a pretty crappy situation.
Yeah. Yeah, all of us are in the gym. Every time you go to Sandia, there's always gonna be somebody in the gym. Either Zay, me, Thomas, Mason, anybody. You'll always see one of us in the gym just getting working.
All right, in the little time we have left, what do you guys have to do to be lifting a blue trophy at the end of the tournament coming up?
Blocking out and not fouling for sure. That's what we got to really work on is blocking out.
And it's that simple, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like just.
Okay, I like that. What's the mental mindset of the team have to be? Because obviously you don't want to look ahead either.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you leave that for dopes like us, right? Like we talk about the matchups and what we want to see at the end, but you guys gotta be locked in every night, obviously, right? So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, our mental is just one possession at a time or going one game at a time. So we're not looking ahead at nobody, not going past nobody. So whoever's that first round, we're focused on them our first round.
Would you prefer, let me ask you this, would you prefer an in-town opponent that knows what you're all about, that has seen the Matadors, or would you prefer an out-of-town opponent that's got no idea? Like, it's one thing to watch you guys on film, right? But until you're running up and down all that time, it's kind of speed, that whole pace, it doesn't really translate. Would you rather play an out-of-town team that has no idea what they're in for, or would you rather see one of these classic in-town opponents that you've probably already seen?
To be honest, it's a little cocky, but I'm not really worried about who we play. Yeah, just whoever we play, they just gotta be ready to go up and down the floor with us.
What was that experience like down the ramp at the pit, big crowd? Well, tell me about that.
It was a good experience to really understand what type of game is going to be played that time, and it was really eye opening for me and some other players on our team too.
How much more special would it be to go back up the ramp knowing you just slayed the giant?
Would be the best feeling ever. So just got to lock in and.
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the way. I know it's the end of the season. The playoffs are near, so appreciate you making time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good night.